We talked about being reactive and proactive about Ramadan, right? And, no, just like being reactive.
In general, okay? So we talked about types of personalities or types of ways of doing things, which is being a reactive person, a person who reacts to an issue, or someone who's proactive. It means
we ran doing that last week.
It means that we're taking initiative. Okay, could someone calm the kids down, please? So, being proactive, it means you take initiative to do something. You are proactive in completing your homework, or you're proactive, before your parents tell you to do the chores in the house, you go ahead and you make sure your room is clean.
I don't like doing chores.
Okay? So, for example, a chore, or if you have a project to do, you start early, right? That's called being proactive. Okay? If you are a reactive person, it means only you have to deal with something after it happens. Okay? Muhammad, you need to stay quiet, please. So, a person who is reactive reacts. Okay? So, which is better? Or is there anything better than each other, or how do you explain these two types of ways of doing things? Because we're going to talk about this at least review in the light of your spirituality as well, right? As a believer, do you want to be a person that's reactive or a person that is proactive?
Proactive.
Reactive.
Listen, proactive or reactive, and why? Proactive or reactive, and why?
I know.
Let's go with you, sir.
Me?
Yes.
Because a proactive person knows how to plan ahead.
Okay. Proactive person plans ahead. Okay. Proactive person plans ahead. Okay. Planning is good. I see a hand there. Yes, sir. Okay. So being early is always better than being late at something. You don't want to be the last person to sort of get ready for Ramadan, right? You see others going ahead of you. Maybe they're prepared. They are already fasting. They're already, giving sadaqah. So when Ramadan comes, they're just smooth sailing, right? Versus somebody who just starts struggling in Ramadan and they're not enjoying it. They're just, surviving. Yes, sir.
Proactive because you have to take no stress.
Okay, so he likes the no stress approach, right? So if you're reactive, you could be stressed out because now you're reacting. You don't have much time to. You have no time to recover as much, right? Muhammad?
Like, if I'm just going in my life, I'd be proactive, but like in worship, I would be reactive because you don't have to plan to worship.
So if you're not, once again, continue.
Like, because in the Quran it says, وَمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاصْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا.
So yeah, can
you don't have to plan because it's already far. You have to.
Even when, so think about it. Even when something's farq, right? Even that, do you plan to wake up for Fajr? Or you just wake up?
You have to wake up.
Right? So yes, some people may wake up naturally, but some people, for example, if you want to be proactive for Salat al-Fajr or proactive for any Salah, you need to do what to start? Before you do anything, before you move from your spot, what do you have to have? And niyyah, intention. Okay? So that's the first step, right? If you go to the masjid, listen to this. Can you imagine you go to the masjid but you don't get reward? How is that possible?
What?
Listen to me. If you go to the masjid for the sake of praying, but you actually didn't go for the sake of praying. Yes.
Maybe you want to show off to the people.
So maybe you got a brand new car?
Excuse
me. Maybe somebody got a brand new car and it's too shiny. He can't stay home. His car needs to be out and about, rolling around. Okay? So this person decides, I need to go to the masjid. I'm going to go to every salah in the mosque today. Some people are like, one second, akhi, or ukhti, you usually go every few days. But now every prayer, are you sure everything's okay? So then that person knows deep down what's going on. We hope it's completely for the sake of Allah, but sometimes you just want to show off your wheels. So that's one thing. Or here's the thing. Or you want to meet some friends. So you say, okay, we'll meet at the mosque and then we'll go chill. So if you are not going to meet at the mosque and you're going to go chill will you still come and pray? Here's the other thing. If somebody were to invite you for dinner, say, listen, we're gonna
Go for iftar in the
no.
masjid.
Yeah, so good example. Iftar in the masjid. Let's go for the masjid for iftar. But when there's no iftar, this person's missing, right? So you have to be very careful. Sometimes our intentions can be mixed. What's better is if you make the intention to worship Allah, whether there's an iftar or not. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay, one second. You need to make sure that you are not mixing your intentions. Okay? And it's hard, by the way. That's why we always have to renew our niyyah. You always have to restart. Click the restart button just to say, oh Allah, please forgive me in case I'm mixing up my intentions. Right? Guys, please keep your hands down.
This is the example you're asking.
Yeah, we're still in the topic. We need to understand the topic. Okay? So, but if you come to the masjid for the sake of learning something, to benefit your deen, to do an ibadah, or to help sadaqah, or anything of good nature along with the salah, then alhamdulillah, inshallah your actions are accepted. Okay? So being a proactive person is the first thing you need to do is make sure your niyyah is clear. Okay? That's when they say renew your intentions. Tajdeed al-niyyah, make sure that your intention is completely for the sake of Allah, not for anything else. Because if it's, stop. Please stop. Okay? So if it's for anything else, then it's going to be a problem. Okay? Now, you don't want to be a person that is reactive, where you may be punished or tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this purpose. So for example, you have your fancy car, and you want to come show off the mosque, but now you get a flat tire along the way. Now you missed your salah, and you missed your showing off. If someone is aware and smart, they'll say, you know what, maybe Allah's stopping me from something. Maybe I was going to go to the salah, but I was going to do lots of haram and riyah and showing off and so on. This is maybe a small lesson for me to pay attention. May Allah protect all of us, but things can happen, right? So you have to be very careful. The same thing, Taban, if you're fasting, voluntary fasting, anything nafil, anything that's extra, you need to be very careful about how you approach it. Okay, so this is the review, the basic review on proactive versus reactive. Okay? Now, what's best in general, and again, it's just my humble opinion, but you can argue otherwise, but just make sure your argument is sound. You can say, it's good to be a proactive person within your deen. Okay? Someone who takes initiative, someone who does things early, you perfect your actions. You make sure when you do something for the sake of Allah, you're doing it properly. You maybe need to do some research before, right? Maybe if you don't understand, maybe Siyam entirely, or you don't understand Ramadan fully, you would go and study a little bit. You would ask a sheikh, for example, or you ask somebody you trust to say, okay, I want to improve myself. I don't want to just worship Allah without any knowledge.
Study.
Okay, so we're moving to our next major topic that we started last week. Anybody can remember what we started?
No, I wasn't here.
Okay, so I know it's very fresh, but we are talking about shurut la ilaha illallah.
Oh yeah, sure.
yeah.
Okay, what does it mean? What does shurut la ilaha illallah mean? Because we talked
Conditions of la ilaha illallah.
We talked about Tawheed before. The Shaykh reminded us, as a quick reminder, but we talked about Tawheed. Remember the types of Tawheed?
توحيد الألوهية توحيد الربوبية توحيد الأسماء والصفات.
MashaAllah. 3 types of Tawheed. And we all know this, alhamdulillah. Okay? Jazakallah khair for that. So, we know the types of Tawheed. We know what worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone means. We talked about it, that He's the only creator, and He's the Lord of everyone. That He is the God of certain believers only. Now, in order for your shahada to be valid, right? In order for your ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh, or ashhadu anna Muhammadan rasulullah, what does the shahada mean? Can somebody quickly tell us? What is it affirming? What is it, affirming? What is it permitting and what is it forbidding? What is it affirming and what is it negating?
So it's affirming that there's no gods.
Okay.
And then it's confirming that Allah is the only one. So it's la ilaha illallah.
Okay.
Your la ilaha is like nafi, so you're like removing any other god that isn't Allah.
Okay?
And then-
Excellent.
Ithbat, and then you confirm that Allah is the only God that there is.
Okay? Sense. What else is confirming?
I know
It's confirming
forbidden.
something else.
I know forbidden.
وأن محمد رسول الله. Yeah.
Yes. وَأَنَّ مُحَمَّدًا عَبْدُهُ وَرَسُولُهُ وَأَنَّ مُحَمَّدًا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. You cannot worship Allah without the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, that you affirm that he's the final prophet, that he's the messenger of Allah. It works together. Okay? Some people say, I worship Allah, but Muhammad ﷺ, I'm not going to work with this thing. Is that allowed?
Astaghfirullah.
There's-
Hypocrite.
There's a reason. There's a reason why the shahada is called shahada. Shahadatan. There's two witnesses. You're taking two oaths. Ashhadu an la ilaha. I bear witness. I'm signing the contract.
What?
Signing the agreement.
What?
Saying that there's no God other than Allah to be worshipped, none other than Him, that will be associated as a partner. Okay?
I can sign it.
Are there some people that believe Allah is there, but they believe in Allah, but they also believe in other things?
Yeah. Yes. Quraysh.
Yeah, that's what
Excuse me?
Quraysh.
Quraysh, can you explain?
They believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the God.
Okay.
But then they add other gods.
Okay, so Quraysh believed in Allah, by the way. And they used to say, Rabbul Kaaba, the Lord of the Kaaba. Remember the story of the field? When the elephant came and they tried to destroy and stuff? Not the elephants, but the king of Yemen, Abraha at the time.
Because everyone refused to go to his church.
Yes. So the grandfather of Prophet said, Allah will take care of his house. Right? They can't fight
Oh
his
yeah,
army.
because of the camels. He decided to take his camels.
Yes.
He's like, give me back my camels, they're mine. What about the Kaaba?
Okay, yes. We're not going through the whole story.
The Kaaba is not
Okay?
mine.
So he said Allah will take care of his house. We can't do anything with it right now in the summer. Okay? So they believed in Allah as the Lord. But the problem with Quraysh was what? They added how many idols to the Kaaba?
365 and one every year.
360 idols they had at the Kaaba. So,
One for every day.
so does Allah allow that?
No.
Quraysh eats their God.
Does Allah allow any other partner?
But I eat their God.
So some people, Shabab, some people say, believe in Allah, of course. But if you believe in anything else, it's not accepted. That's called shirk. So even though you may believe in Allah, but if you add something, it's still considered shirk. You ashrak, you added a partner. Okay? That's why we say, we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the word tawheed, as the Imam said today. The word tawheed, it comes from the root word of wahid, of one, or ahad, right? Where it's negating any other type of God that would be worshipped. Whatever it is. Muhammad, I'm going to put you in time off.
I don't like that.
You have one more chance. I'm serious.
Also me?
You have one more chance.
I don't like timeout.
Ustad.
Okay.
Please sit with your father, please. Let's go. Jazakallah khair. So, the Shahada, it affirms that there is no God than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and no one else that will be ascribed as a partner. So, can someone give me an example of a prophet that was made as a partner to Allah? No, I need hands up, please. Yes, sir. Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam. He was so-called, they wanted to honor him so much to the point they started to worship him. Are we there to worship the Prophet Isa alayhi salam?
No.
Or the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam?
It's called prophet.
Are we there to worship them?
No.
No. So the condition of La ilaha illallah, it requires what?
لا معبود بحق إلا الله.
Mumtaz. La ma'buda bihaqqin illallah. There's no God other worthy of worship other than Allah only. Okay? طيب. So that's the first condition. That's what shahada means. The first condition, in order for this shahada to be accepted, In order for the shahada to be accepted, there's a condition. Yes?
I have to believe it.
So believing, okay, obviously, but there's one thing we mentioned last week. I don't know if you remember.
تصديقه فيما أمر وطاعته فيما.
That's part of the Nabi.
No, it's one statement, one word.
What is it? What was the question?
What is the first condition of La ilaha illallah?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
There's no. Give us a hint.
Niyat? No. So okay, we're gonna jump through this.
Give us a hint. Give us a hint.
Okay. So the first condition is no, it is tawheed, but how can it be accepted?
Give us a hint.
Close. What happens here?
العقل. Think.
Intention.
No.
عقل. Think. Think.
Yes. Believe, okay? So in order, listen, pay attention. In order for you to worship Allah the best, okay, yeah, you have one? Knowledge. Thank you very much. MashaAllah.
Who said that?
Al-ilm. What's your name? Wa'is? MashaAllah. Excellent. He said, knowledge is the first condition for your shahada to be accepted. Why is knowledge important?
Because it's like.
So knowledge of what? First of all, knowledge of what? Never mind. Yes. Of Islam. Okay, I need more deep.
Do you know what you're doing?
Like why you're gonna split your three?
Okay, so you understand the reason why you do things. Okay? You have one? No?
I have one.
Anybody else? Yes.
Like the knowledge that you actually believe in Allah, like you know what to do, everything.
Okay, yes.
Knowledge of the Prophet.
Okay,
Knowledge
guys,
of Sirah.
excuse me.
And of the Prophet, how to pray, the basics.
Okay, yes.
You need to know how to like you need to know the arcans and Islam. You need to know how.
Excellent. Okay. So knowledge allows you to know how to get closer to Allah, how to worship Him. If you don't have knowledge of the background of the Shahada, because if you break down this Shahada, it's actually quite dense as a topic, quite deep. Right? We say, Ashhadu illa ilaha, I bear witness there's no God other than Allah, and that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the final messenger. So now we're talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His Tawheed, and His Rububiyyah, in His Uluhiyyah, in His Asma' wa Sifat. وأشهد أن محمد, I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the final Khatim al-Anbiya wa Mursaleen, the final prophet, the seal of the prophet and messengers. You're going through the whole seerah here. So if you just don't understand Allah on a deep level, and you don't understand the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam on a deep level, your shahada will be empty. It's like saying that, yeah, for example, if you would say like, I'm the best engineer.
Yeah.
That's not true.
But you never studied engineering. It's like, well, I'm gonna be the best. Yeah, well, yeah,
That's not gonna happen.
that's a cool statement.
Yeah, and it's true.
But how are you gonna back it?
No.
You
It's
understand?
easy. Look, the light in the output is easy.
Okay. So if someone makes a claim, the knowledge will make you back up that claim, and back up that statement. Okay? If you understand how to worship Allah, if you understand the types of Tawheed, if you understand how to worship Him, how to get closer to Him, then this statement will have value. Okay? So if you don't have knowledge, we said this last week, if you do not have knowledge of your religion or of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, guys, off the wall please, over here.
Bring off the wall.
Over here please.
Okay, I'll listen.
If your shahada has no knowledge to it, it's like building a grand big house without any foundation. Are you able to put up walls in the mud and expect the house to be firm?
Well, you could use the mud. You could make the mud into cement.
Listen.
What is the dirt to water ratio?
Okay, so let's use Edmonton soil. Okay, are you able to stick a piece of bunch of wood studs into the mud and build a 2-story home?
Well, yeah, if you dig down a lot and put it and then Yeah, we did it underground.
Okay, no, it's okay. You can dig as deep as you want. But what happens if the earth starts to move a little bit?
We're not getting it too far.
The point is, don't be literal, guys. The point is
Go
that
to the end of the corner and make
house,
a volcano.
this house will start to,
Wiggle. Can I?
it's going to start to move. Okay? As much as you want to secure this thing, it's going to start to move. It's not firm.
It's gonna be.
You will be walking on eggshells. Okay? You'll be like, okay, is everything, it's windy and the house is kind of moving. Is everything okay here?
Yes. Yeah,
This is the same thing with the shahada.
But what if you?
Sit down. If your shahadatan, if your la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah is not on firm foundations, it's going to be
Broken.
not necessarily broken, but it will be weak. Right? It will be a very weak statement. And in order to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it has to be strong and firm. Seeking knowledge in Islam, what's the ruling?
Huh? Wait, what?
طلب العلم, seeking righteous knowledge in Islam is what? فرض عين, فرض كفاية, what?
فرض عين.
فرض عين. What does that mean?
Fard ayn means knowledge. Fard means.
No.
Ayn means.
Yes, close. Anybody? What does فرض عين mean?
No, so you have to know.
Like you do with your eyes.
No.
What, a principle?
Canadian kids.
Okay, it's knowledge that you have to learn.
Okay, it starts with an and.
Mandatory.
And?
Yeah, for
Mandatory.
mandatory.
Yeah, you have to do it.
So listen to this.
Like if you're mandatory for putting on math.
It's mandatory for us to seek our Islamic knowledge. You understand? Basically, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning to us that, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that it's a must. You need to learn your deen. Okay? And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has given us a mind to use, to learn with. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم. اقرأ, what does اقرأ mean? Read. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. Read in the name of your Lord that has created all things. خلق الإنسان من علق.
خلق الإنسان من علق means he created the human from mud or clay, like.
No, علق is the blood clot. So He made you from a small, yes, small drop of blood. Okay? اقرأ وربك الأكرم. Read, verily your Lord is most, honorable. So Allah saying, use your minds. Read. الذي علم بالقلم. And He taught you how to read, use a pen. So studying is not a bad thing. It's actually Shabab.
It's fun.
No, over here, please.
Like if you need to study.
You can't talk without permission, please. Yeah, Shabab. Okay, I'm gonna take a break. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has spoke to us. Hakim?
Me?
No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to us in a divine advice to use our minds, to read, use your eyes to read, use your hands to write. So He's basically saying use your senses, use the tools I've given you to learn your religion. Okay? Now if you don't know, what are you supposed to do?
Get help from someone?
اسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون.
فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. If you don't know something and you want to learn something, okay, you need to ask those who
Go back
know,
because he's too jealous.
or that person that you trust with knowledge. Okay, so not necessarily each and every single one of us is going to be a scholar. It's possible. It's okay not to be a scholar, but if you can have the motivation of a scholar or of a person who's knowledgeable in Islam, and each and every single one of us should have a basic amount of Islamic knowledge. How to pray, how to speak to others, behavior, al-adab wal-akhlaq, how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how to respect our family. There's so many things that can get into. How you deal with others, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, all these things. There's so many ways to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through knowledge.
Don't be
Okay. So, who is harder on the shaitan?
Allah.
No, listen to the question, please. Listen to me.
Al-insan.
No, the question's not done yet. Who is more difficult for the shaitan to deal with?
The angels.
Let him answer.
Guys,
Just finish with the question.
I didn't finish. I didn't give the options yet.
Oh.
I'll tell you when to put your hands up. Okay? Just listen. Enjoy the show.
Okay.
All the hard work is being done for
My
you.
popcorn is ready.
Where's the popcorn?
So funny.
There's two types of people. One of them is more difficult on the shaitan than the other.
I know.
Shaitan has a hard time dealing with one versus the other.
Question.
I need example of two types of people. I want serious answers. Jenna. Excellent. That's a great answer.
She didn't see the types of people.
So, did you all hear that?
I know, I heard it.
Okay, so then you can keep your hands down. Thank you. So, Al-Alim, the one who is knowledgeable in Islam, which should be every Muslim by the way, Al-Alim أشد على الشيطان من ألف عابد. The one who is knowledgeable in Islam and knows how to worship Allah is more difficult and very hard for the shaitan to work with than 1,000 worshippers. A worshipper is somebody who just prays and fasts and gives zakat and sadaqah, but he can be cheated by anything. Okay? He can make a silly mistake. Okay? He can be cheated by shaitan with the smallest trick.
Like if you drink.
Okay? I don't want to hear any talking, please. If a person is knowledgeable, he knows the difference between al-haqq and al-batil. He knows between what's right and what's wrong. He can make a choice. He can make a decision. He can guide the 1,000 people who are praying. But a worshipper, a person who is just praying, doesn't have knowledge and is ignorant, he cannot save himself, let alone save 1,000 people. So one person who has the knowledge of Islam and a knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet ﷺ and the religion can be and can have the blessing. Please remove that. You can have the blessing from Allah, tawfiq from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to save 1,000 worshippers. Because these people may fall into big trouble, big mistakes. Now we're not saying that this person's perfect and these people are not perfect. No, these people have a good opportunity and good chance to improve themselves, right? Improve themselves in the deen. So remember, knowledge is your tool for success, especially in your religion. I know we study school and science and math and English and all that stuff, but the most important knowledge that Allah requires you to study is the knowledge of your deen. Okay? This is what's going to help you not only in this world but in the hereafter as well. Okay, so this concludes our topic for today. I know it's a deep topic. It's going to take time to go through all of this because I want to make sure you guys understand it. Okay? So I need somebody to come up here and summarize what we talked about. You can choose any topic from the types of personalities we talked earlier about proactive and reactive, or you can summarize what we talked about the shahada, you can discuss the shahada, you can, whatever, in your own words, summarize what you took from today. We'll start with Ali. Come here, please. No, you need to come on the mic. Yeah, there's no choice. Okay, Sheikh Ali is going to provide us some knowledge. Please respect our knowledge teacher. Okay. Say something.
One of the things I learned is that one person who has knowledge and everything is better than 1,000 people. Normal.
I wouldn't say he's better. You say he's
no, like he's less tougher to shaitan to like
Not even
Trick.
than 1,000 words. Okay? Okay, thank you very much. Jazakallah.
MashaAllah.
No, clapping.
Takbir.
Okay.
That made me
Good
good.
go last. Have a seat. I need, who else? Who else? Okay, I'm gonna, if you don't put your hands up, I'm gonna ask you to come. I'm gonna choose you.
wants to go so bad.
Okay, John.
I learned today that we were about being proactive and reactive. Proactive is like you're planning something before you actually do it. But reactive is like you just do it straight away and like you don't even plan for anything. You get everything
Okay, you fix your mistake after the fact. Right? Okay, good job. Thank you. Jazakallah khair.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Okay, I need some sisters. Sisters are very quiet today.
Yes, sister.
Anybody interested? You don't have to come here if you don't want to, but you can say it from there. I need a summary, something you can take away. A summary of what you learned today. Anybody? Have a seat, guys. Have a seat.
I'm a girl.
Yes. Okay, quiet, please. Yes. Okay, you learned how good it is to be proactive. Okay, that's it. Anything else? Knowledge is very important for Muslims, okay? Anyone else? Yes? Sorry, I can't hear you. Guys, excuse me. Yes. Yes, please go ahead. Okay, so we learned the first condition of La ilaha illallah, which is al-ilm. Okay, al-ilm, okay? Abdurrauf? Yes?
And then that, like, you don't have to just do it. Like, as the example that you did, but it was actually real. Like, I want to go. That will go.
Okay. You want to think about it?
No, it was like you. It was when you would get.
First of all, come on the mic. We can take your time. Think about your idea and walk towards us, please. I'm sure it's going to come out, but you have to just put it together. It's his turn. His turn. Go ahead.
I learned that you don't have to just do it fast. You have to like take your time. Like feel it. Just take your time.
Okay, guys, we just settle down. No. Someone else's turn. His answer was you need to take your time doing things. You need to plan a little bit, okay? So he took away المسلم القوي أفضل من المسلم الضعيف أو أحسن من المسلم الضعيف. So it's a strong believer in strong in what? Muscles or what?
No.
In knowledge and
Worship and
Faith.
all worship, faith. Under what's the word? Knowledge and العلم والعمل. An action. A believer is strong in knowledge and action. And if you got some muscles on top, ahsan. Okay? Yeah.
I don't have muscles.
Muslim. Anyone else? Anyone else want to say a few words before we close the night? Yes.
Push out. Hurry up.
Excellent. Okay guys, Jazakumullah khair. Sallallahu alaihi wa sallam Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi.
Yo, Ali, go look at that guy. That guy makes the best.
It's not gonna work.
Respectful, successful, responsible,
I have to see.
No, I hate this. 125. It's not Ramadan today. You only want dates. I hate it.
Okay, listen. I don't want a back home passport office, okay?
You what?
Yeah.
Has all the passports in the world.
No. And back home, when there's a passport office, everybody's at the gate throwing the passports. We don't want that. We want a straight line.
Go away.
Straight line. Because it's photo. That's all I can say.